जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी श्री राधा माधव भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, starting Chapter 14 today. Oh, this book does not have Chapter 14. So I will open it on my phone. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So we will read, there are only 2 verses today, and second verse is for the focus discussion, but we'll read both the verses. And if it is there, someone can help me with reading the translation, please, for the verse number 1.
Lord Brahma said, "My dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. O son of the king of the cowherds, your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud. Your garment is brilliant like lightning, and the beauty of your face is enchanted by your gunja, enhanced by your gunja earrings, and the peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands of various forest flowers and leaves, and equipped with a herding stick, a buffalo horn, and a flute, you stand beautifully with a morsel of food in your hand.
Yeah. We can also read purport in just 2 verses.
In the previous chapter, Brahma, the creator of the universe, tried to bewilder the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, by stealing his cowherd boyfriends and calves. But by a slight exhibition of Krishna's own mystic potency, Brahma himself was completely bewildered. And now, with great humility and devotion, he offers his humble obeisance and prayers unto the Lord.
The word kavala in the verse refers to a morsel of rice mixed with yogurt that Krishna held in his left hand. According to Sanatan Goswami, the Lord held a cowherding stick and a buffalo horn pressing under his left arm, and his flute was placed under his belt. Beautiful young Krishna, decorated with multicolored forest minerals, exhibited opulence far greater than those of Vaikuntha. Although Brahma had seen innumerable four-armed forms of the Lord, he now surrendered onto the lotus feet of the two-armed form of Krishna, who appeared as the son of Nanda Maharaj. Brahma offered his prayers to that form.
Text number 2 we'll recite. अस्यापि देव वपुषो मदनुग्रहस्य स्वेच्छामयस्य न तु भूतमयस्य कोऽपि नेषे महित्वविसितं मनसान्तरेण साक्षात् वैव उतात्मसुखानुभूते What do you want to chant? अस्यापि देव वपुषो मदनुग्रहस्य स्वेच्छामयस्य न तु भूतमयस्य कोऽपि नेषे महितु अविसितं मनसान्तरेण साक्षात् तवैव किम् उतात्मसुखानुभूते अस्यापि देव वपुषो मदनुग्रहस्य स्वेच्छामयस्य न तु भूतमयस्य कोऽपि नेषे महितु अभिसितं मनसान्तरेण साक्षात् तवैव किमुतात्मसुखानुभूते. Read the translation. Yeah, let's do what. Asya, of this, api, even, deva, O Lord, vapushaha, the body, mad anugrahasya, which has shown mercy to me. So ichha mayasya, which appears in response to the desires of your pure devotees. Na, not, tu, on the other hand, bhutamayasya, a product of matter, ka, Brahma, api, even, na ishe, I am not able, mahi, the potency, tu, indeed, avasitum, to estimate, manasa, with my mind, anantarena, which is controlled and withdrawn, sakshat, directly, tava, your, eva, indeed, kim uta, what to speak, atma, within yourself, sukha, of happiness, anubhute, of your experience. Somebody will help with translation? Okay, I can just read the translation here. My dear Lord, neither I nor anyone else can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, which has shown such mercy to me and which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. Although my mind is completely withdrawn from material affairs, I cannot understand your personal form. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself? So, about purport. So, somebody will help.
In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, chapter 14, Srila Prabhupada explains that in the present verse, Lord Brahma expressed the following prayerful sentiments. Your appearance as a cowherd child is for the benefit of the devotees, and although I have committed an offense at your lotus feet by stealing away your boys and calves, I can understand that you have bestowed your mercy upon me. That is your transcendental quality. You are very affectionate towards your devotees, but in spite of your great affection for me, I cannot estimate the potency of your bodily activities. It is to be understood that when I, Lord Brahma, the Supreme Personality of this universe, cannot estimate the childlike body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what to speak of others? What if I cannot estimate the spiritual potency of your childlike body? Then what can I understand about your transcendental pastimes? Therefore, as it is said in Bhagavad Gita, anyone who can understand a little of the transcendental pastimes, appearance and disappearance of the Lord immediately becomes eligible to enter the kingdom of God after quitting the body. This statement is confirmed in the Vedas, where it is stated simply, by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can overcome the chain of repeated birth and death. I therefore recommend that people should not try to understand you by their speculative knowledge.
When Brahma disrespected the supreme status of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna first bewildered him by exhibiting the Lord's own transcendental power. Then, having humbled his devotee Brahma, Krishna gave him his personal audience. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Lord Krishna's transcendental body can also function through the agency of his plenary expansions, called Vishnu Tattva. As stated by Brahma himself in the Brahma Samhita 5.32, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti. This verse indicates not only that the Lord can perform any bodily function with any of his limbs, but also that he can see through the eyes of his Vishnu expansions, or indeed through the eyes of any living entity. And similarly, that he can hear through the ears of any Vishnu or Jiva expansion. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that although the Lord can perform any function with any one of his senses, in his transcendental pastimes as Sri Krishna, he generally sees with his eyes, touches with his hands, hears with his ears, and so on. Thus, he behaves like the most beautiful and charming young cowherd boy. The Vedic knowledge expands from Lord Brahma, who is described in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam as Adikavi, the primeval Vedic scholar. Yet Brahma could not understand the transcendental body of Lord Krishna because it is beyond the reach of ordinary Vedic knowledge. Among all the transcendental forms of the Lord, the two-armed form of Govinda, Krishna, is original and supreme. Thus, Lord Govinda's pastimes of stealing butter, drinking the gopis' breast milk, tending the calves, playing his flute, and playing childhood sports are extraordinary, even in comparison with the activities of Lord Vishnu's expansions.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Pitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchan Gangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Vangsha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhe Vichapatita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitanamne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatrishtarine. So, we are entering into the last phase of Brahma Vimohan Leela. Now, Brahmaji is going to offer prayers beginning with these first two verses. Before we begin, I cannot help but remember Parishit Maharaj, by whose mercy we are hearing this pastime. So, Sukdev Goswami would not have covered this pastime in detail unless he would have asked that question, that how is it that the boys described the Kumar pastimes in the Pauganda age of Krishna. So, Krishna has his pastimes categorized in Kumar, Leela, Pauganda, Kishore, like that, and then Yavana. So, Kumar Leela usually lasts from age of first year till all the way to 5, Pauganda from 6 to 10, Kishore from 11 to 15, and then 16 onward is a Yavana. But in case of Krishna, the time accelerates, because Lord, when he appears, he becomes the Kishore very, very fast, and then stays in that age of Yavana for forever after that. So when this Leela actually happened, Brahma Vimohan, that age was in the Kumar around 4 something, actually around 3 something, because for Krishna, the Kumar stage lasted shorter, not until 5, until 3.5 or so, and then Pauganda started early and it lasted until 7, not until 10 usually, and then Kishore also started early from 8 to 11. That's when he conducted all those pastimes with the gopis, and then he became Yavana very fast. So when he was in 4, before 5, that time they described about the 1 year ago pastime that the boys described, and then Parishit Maharaj caught this. He was so attentive. He is on the verge of death. Now 4 days have passed. His death is approaching, but he is not worried about that. He is so much engrossed into the hearing of Bhagavatam that he is paying full attention, and he is fully eager to know more details. It's not that he's just let's get done with it. So he's asking questions that how is it that they described this Kumar after 1 year, and then in result of that, Sukdev Goswami narrated the whole pastime in more detail. So this Leela is very interesting because it brings the mood of Kumar into the Pauganda. So these elderly gopis, they would serve and assist Mother Yashoda in serving Krishna. And Krishna is so charming, most loving child, most beautiful, and everybody is attracted to Krishna more than their own sons. So they would serve Krishna and they would feel, if only we also had chance to serve him more, right? So they were serving, assisting Mother Yashoda without any envy. And they were having this pure desire of serving Krishna even more. So Krishna reciprocated with that desire in this Leela, by becoming each and every son of all the gopis and all the calves of all the cows. And then he gave them a chance to serve him more intimately, bathing him, massaging him, oiling him, like that. So they felt same attraction as they would feel to original Krishna, because their son became, the original Krishna became their son. So that was the beauty of this pastime, that Krishna gave this wonderful chance to his devotees to serve him more intimately, more closely. So because these gopis aspired for that without any envy, and they were assisting Mother Yashoda, which is the hallmark of all the qualities of devotees, that they are non-envious. When other devotees get chance to serve Lord, they are not envious. They are appreciative. So now we are going to discuss the prayers of Brahmaji. These prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam are the jewels in the Bhagavatam. We have no experience of Lord, we have no experience of understanding of Lord or his glories, but these devotees who have seen God, who have experienced, who have realized God, are outpouring from their heart what is their understanding, what is their mood in serving Lord. It's a great chance for us to learn from this and benefit from this. So now, until the last chapter was the last chapter that Srila Prabhupada translated personally, and these chapters onwards are translated by Hridayanand Maharaj, Gopi Pranadhan Prabhu, and Pradyumna Das Prabhu. So they have extensively used Krishna book. And when I was reading, I could see that, and they have used previous Acharya's commentary. So it's very wonderful that they have done a great job in presenting these purports. So going into the first verse purport, so these devotees explain that Lord Brahma wanted to test Krishna, and in the process he himself got bewildered. So the question arises, why did he wanted to test Krishna? and then why did he get bewildered? He is a devotee of Lord Krishna. He's a first entrusted representative of Lord, and he took such responsibility of creating this whole universe on behalf of Lord. He's such a closely connected to Krishna. So how could he get bewildered? So the answer for that is that Lord Brahma, first of all, Krishna teaches lessons to us through his near and dear ones. Last Saturday, Prabhuji explained that when mother-in-law chastises, she does not chastise the daughter-in-law directly. She gives instruction to daughter, and indirectly it's meant for the daughter-in-law. Similarly, Krishna teaches us many lessons, valuable lessons, through the pastimes with his close devotees, and then we have to learn the lessons from that. So Krishna wanted to teach that we should not try to prove, show our power in front of our superiors. So Brahmaji was intrigued seeing Krishna and cowherd boys in the forest behaving so simply. As Narahari Prabhu explained, that Brahmaji is like a vidhi. So everything he does is with very high standard. He used to worshipping Lord with such purity, with such high clean ingredients, and chanting of mantra perfectly. When he chants Krishna, Lord Vishnu personally comes in yajna. Usually when we do yajna, we understand that through the fire Krishna accepts our ingredients. But in case of Brahmaji, Vishnu himself comes personally and accepts it personally. So he's used to that kind of a standard, that kind of high standard. And he is saying here Krishna is eating from the mouth of his friends, eating their jhuta, muchi. So he is bewildered seeing all that. And then he doubted that, is he God? Did he really kill this Aghasur? Let me test what will happen if I try to puzzle him, if I try to take away his friends and the cows, then let's see how he'll respond. So, and also why Brahmaji got bewildered? Because Krishna is very loving towards his devotees. He is very active in correcting any mistake, any shortcoming in the characteristics of his devotees. So he is very active in that department, that he wants to fix his devotees as early as possible. So when he sees there is a small fault, he would like to fix that. And there is another technical reason that many devotees may not know, the secret, that in this universe, that there are actually two Brahmas. I got to see this in the Shararth Darshani when I was reading long ago in the first chapter of Bhagavatam, Advent of Lord Krishna, when all these demigods and Mother Earth approach Lord Brahma for appearing, for helping them to get rid of this problem of demons. So they approached actually a different Brahma. The Brahma who they approached is Vairaj Brahma. This Brahma sits on the top of Mount Meru. Mount Meru is in the center of this universe. We have seen that in the 5th canto. We have seen the descriptions. That's the place of activities of all the demigods. Then there are Lokpals, the 4 directions, Indra, Varuna, Yama, they all have their places on that. And Brahmaji is in the center. So that Brahma is the Brahma who is attending day-to-day affairs of the demigods, the issues. And there is the original Brahma who is Swayambhu Brahma. He lives on the Satyaloka, very high in the planetary systems. So to approach that Brahma for everything is not possible. So for the practical dealings like PMO office, like we have this office of Prime Minister or the President. So we just go to that office and get our complaints on all the issues sorted there. But when the problem is really big, then they may approach higher. So usually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains in the 17th, the purport of 17th verse in the 1st chapter of 10th canto, that Mother Earth approached Vairaj Brahma, and he gives the explanation that actually, if you know, in the Bhagavatam there's a story of King Raivata. King Raivata is a Manu, one of the Manu, maybe a 6th Manu. and then he had a daughter, Revati, and he was wondering that who should be married with my daughter. So there were all this kings and princes that time, but none of them seemed qualified to him. So he wanted to consult his father, the father of the universe, Lord Brahma. So he approached Lord Brahma with his daughter, and Brahmaji was busy that time listening to musical performance by Ha Ha and Hu Hu. So that musical performance lasted a little long, and during that time, on the earth, so many yogas passed. Satya Yoga, Treta Yoga passed, and Dwapar Yoga was almost on the verge of completing. So when the time musical performance ended, then Brahmaji saw him and then talked to him and asked him for his reason to come. He explained that, Brahmaji said, all the lists that you have in your with you, all these kings have already died. All the ages have passed. Now none of them is there. So now you should rush immediately, because Krishna and Balram have appeared, and you should go and marry your daughter with Balramji. So when this is happening here, just imagine then whom they would have gone, Mother Earth would have gone, while Brahmaji was busy listening to the music, right? So this is reconciled with this explanation that there is another Brahma, an acting Brahma, who is attending all this day-to-day affairs. So this also explains why when this Brahma heard the commotion when Krishna killed Aghasur, that they were saying Jaya Jaya, this beautiful pastime, this wonderful pastime of Krishna, that he killed Aghasur. They were wondering. So Brahmaji paid attention, and then he saw this boy killed Aghasur, such a powerful demon that everybody is scared of. And then he paid more closer attention of what is his activities, and then he got a little bit puzzled, because he is so much attached to the idea of the God that he has to be perfect. So I was discussing with Narahari Prabhu other day, then he explained this reasoning, that I was wondering that how come these demigods get puzzled, because they are so much in close proximity of the Lord, they understand so much, they have seen so many cycles, so many avatars of the Lord, how could they still get puzzled? So this is one of the great mystery. So in my limited understanding, one of the greatest creation of the Lord is not this universe, it's not this so many lokas or universe creation, but the living entity, the conscious living entity. That is the greatest creation of the Lord. And what is the greatest power of the Lord? It is not the physical power that many demigods can demonstrate, many demons can demonstrate the physical power. it is the power of Maya, the power of illusion, that everybody is put into illusion by the Lord. So this is the greatest power of the Lord. So now how does this power of the Lord helps, or how does it work? So illusion works based on what is there in our heart. From the modern science, we have come to the understanding that first the science says that world is objective reality, that what is out there is there, and it doesn't depend whether you observe it or not. But then quantum physics in the last decade, that advancement taught us that as an observer has a very critical role to play in defining what is a reality. It's all technical subject matter. It's every particle is a wave and a particle both, and which way it behaves depends on when we observe it. So that's the quantum physics. But we go one more step further than that. It is not that who observes, but what is in the heart of the observer, that also defines the reality, right? So all these demons, what is there in the heart? The heart is desire to enjoy independently of the Lord, leading to the envy towards the Lord, leading to miscalculation of the potencies of the Lord. So Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, they were all well versed in the Vedas, and Vedas is filled with the glories of the Lord, but they would not understand that section, and they would understand every other section which is to do with achieving power, achieving the happiness, the possessions. They would understand all those details. Like Ravana, when he was stealing Mother Sita, he did perfect planning and perfect calculations, as Prabhuji was explaining yesterday in Sunday Feast class, Amarendra Prabhu, that he calculated the right muhurta in which he should do this action so that he will achieve success. What's the name of that muhurta? I forgot. He mentioned that. Huh? Vindhya muhurta. So they take advantage of Vedas for all these purposes, for their own selfish desire for enjoyment. But when there is the glories of the Lord, that they do not understand, because their heart is not towards that. So when Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill Lord Vishnu, he established a fault in Lord Vishnu, that he sided with the demigods, and hence he is partial, hence he is not perfect, and hence he is defeatable, right? So because of this, their heart has all this sense gratificatory desires and envy, they cannot understand God. But what about Brahmaji? He is a devotee of the Lord. He is a devotee of the Lord, but he is also conditioned with a sense of perfection, that Lord has to be like this. Lord cannot be any other way, right? So that's what puzzled him. That, and then what about Indra? So Indra is a mixed devotee. Now after Brahma pastime, like before that, all these demigods prayed for Lord to appear. They all prayed to Lord Krishna in the womb of Mother Devaki. How could they forget that so soon, that it's a Krishna, he is a god, he is the one who appeared. So how can they become angry, envious, and then fight with him? So Indra is also a mixed devotee. He has desires to enjoy, but greatness of Indra is that he approaches Lord Vishnu for all his desires. So that's why whenever you have any other thing in your heart other than pure bhakti, then this Mahamaya will trick. And in the case of devotees, it's a Yoga Maya. So to the degree there's a purity, the role of Mahamaya and Yoga Maya switches. And then Yoga Maya plays the role to arrange the pastimes with the Lord. So it is that. So now, even after this Govardhan Leela, again, when Krishna grew up a little more, he went to Dwarika and he wanted the Parijat flower, the tree, and then Kundals. Then again Indra fought. So there is so much. So they again tend to forget seemingly, right? So Narahari Prabhu was explaining to me that it is not that we should basically estimate low for Indra. They are great souls. They are bhubhuti of the Lord. We can learn that this is how we are. That we come to the Lord, we commit mistake, then we pray to Lord, I will not do this mistake again. Then next day again we do the same mistake. How many times we do? So so we see one or two times we see them doing in the pages of Bhagavatam, and then we may think, oh, they are so imperfect, they are so not on the high level. But this is showing that this is what we have been doing life after life, day after day, year after year. This is our story every day. So how insincere we are. So just to teach us all these lessons and to inspire us, that we can still keep taking shelter of Lord. Lord does this wonderful pastime with his close devotees, just for our sake. So we should not judge these great personalities. Okay, so now this text number 1, Lord Brahma describes the beautiful form of the Lord Krishna. So Lord Brahma describes as follows, that, my dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore I offer my humble obeisances. You are the son of the king of cowherds. Your transcendental body is dark blue, like a new cloud. Your garment is brilliant like lightning, and the beauty of your face is enhanced by your Gunja earring. So, a lot of these descriptions are similar to the description of Vaikuntha, the Lord of Vaikuntha, that his color is dark blue and his garments are as brilliant as the lightning. But to distinguish that this form is different, he adds some other details, like your face is enhanced by Gunja earrings. So, and then he is having peacock feather on his head, and he is wearing the garlands of forest flowers and leaves, and he is having this the herding stick, buffalo horn, and flute. So, and then he is having a morsel of food in his hand. So it's the same morsel of food with which Krishna left his friends to search for the cows. The same morsel of food is in his hand after 1 year. So Brahma is having the same darshan. So this is explaining that this opulence of Krishna's, this natural jewelry, is much higher than the Vaikuntha's jewelry. That all the beautification of the Lord in the Vaikuntha, their opulence is lesser than the opulence of Krishna in the forest of Vrindavan, when he is dealing with this flowers, peacock feather, flute. So these are much more glorious and much more sweeter. So Lord, so in the nectar of instruction, it is given the hierarchy of different places. I think it's a verse number 8 that describes the hierarchy of different places, starting with that higher than Vaikuntha is Vrindavan. So higher than Vaikuntha is Mathura, and higher than Mathura is Vrindavan. So here the Vaikuntha is being called for the Dwarka. Dwarka is also called Vaikuntha. So that's a hierarchy. So why this hierarchy? Why these places are in that particular hierarchy? Because when Lord appears as the most perfect being, as a four-armed Vishnu form, who does not commit any mistake, who is never illusioned, who has all perfect qualities, then the level of sweetness in that form is lesser compared to when he become imperfect in human-like form, like Lord Ram. So the sweetness level rises drastically when he comes as Lord Ram, and he's crying for Mother Sita, and like yesterday we are hearing past time that he, for a moment, he thought that Jatayu was a demon who killed Mother Sita, right? He does this kind of little mistakes. Then Lakshmanaji corrected him, no, he's Jatayu, and then so this enhances the Lord's sweetness. So when Lord comes in the human form, this enhances Lord's sweetness. But in the form of Lord Ram, he bound himself with a rope of Maryada. So he limited that sweetness to some extent. We cannot imagine all this other rasas of Sakhya rasa with the Lord Ram that much. Although Sugriva is a friend of Lord Ram, but we can't imagine him putting his hand on the shoulders of Lord Ram, right? So because there's a Maryada is a higher principle in personal Lord Ram. But when he comes as Lord Krishna in Dwarka, then he expands that a little bit more. And then he becomes a little bit more human-like pastimes, and more sweetness is coming from there. And then in Vrindavan, that is taken to the highest level. In Vrindavan, he is that naughty boy who is stealing, who is lying, who is tricking others. So he's doing all this wonderful sweet pastimes, and the level of sweetness goes to the highest. So that's why the form of Krishna in Vrindavan is the highest, because of the Madhurya. That's a specialty of Krishna. So that's what Lord Brahma is experiencing here, and is describing the Vrindavan form of Lord Krishna with all this Vrindavan articles. So the verse number 2, verse number 2 is in the purport we learn that now Brahmaji is expressing a sentiment that Lord, you appears for the benefit of a devotee, and even though I have committed offense, but because I have little bit of devotion, you have chosen to give your mercy to me, because that's your nature, that's your quality, that you are very affectionate towards a devotee. And Brahmaji is admitting that no one can estimate the potency of Krishna's childhood form. That even the Brahma, he is the Adi Kavi. All the Vedas has come through him. They're coming from Lord, but through Brahmaji, he has elaborated them. So that is saying that if Brahmaji cannot understand, that we cannot understand this glory of Krishna's childhood pastimes, childhood form through study of Vedic scriptures. So it's not accessible through that. So and then Brahmaji is further expressing. So yeah, so this is saying that even though Krishna's childhood form, the potency of Krishna's childhood form cannot be understood, it doesn't mean that he is not God. He is always God. So then Brahmaji is saying that if I cannot even understand the potency of a childhood form, what can I understand the happiness you feel within that form? What can I understand the sweetness of pastimes you conduct with this form? There is no understanding of that. And then Brahmaji is then advising that there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yuvati Tattva, that if you understand the glorious transcendental appearance and disappearance of Lord Krishna, then Tyaktva Deham Punarjanmana iti Mamiti Sarjana, that leaving this body, you will not come back to this world and you will go back to the spiritual world. So that's the glory of getting a tinge of understanding of Krishna's activities, Krishna's appearance and disappearance. So Brahmaji is advising that even I cannot understand the potency of your childhood body and then wonderful pastimes you are conducting. So that goes to say that this is not just an information that, oh, we got it, we know about Krishna's pastimes. That is not the meaning of understanding Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yoveti Tattva. This is not the meaning of knowing. It's not an information that we collect and read and get to know. It is the conviction by which we have to live our life in all situations, life and death. If we have the conviction that Krishna is transcendental, he is beyond this material universe, and he is a primeval Lord, and everything is temporary, and then Krishna is only permanent. If we have that conviction, that, and then whether somebody puts a gun on our head or somebody is threatening to kill us, we are in danger, in all the situations, if we are able to remember this, then that's the true meaning that we have understood. That Janma Karma Chame Divyam, that's the true meaning of understanding this convincingly. Then only we can understand it like Haridas Thakur. Like he was threatened to be beaten in 20 plus marketplaces, but he did not budge from his conviction. So that's why in the following words tomorrow we will hear that he will recommend that people should give up speculative knowledge in trying to understand Lord, and really understand it tattvata, really understand it with devotion. Because as we learned some time ago, we were discussing that what is in your heart will reveal to you what you can understand, right? So if you have devotion in the heart, then only we can understand the Lord truly. If we have all this intellectual inclination or other ulterior motives, then we cannot get to the true understanding of the Lord. So Brahmaji is saying that please give up all this endeavor of karma and jnana. Karma means trying to pursue material happiness. Jnana means trying to renounce this world as false. And so both of them are not ideal. So in the 11th canto, the qualification of devotee is given that he is not too attached to the karma, that the karma kanda, and also he is not too detached from the material world unnecessarily. He is in the middle. He is aloof from the material world. That's the qualification of a devotee, because he is attached to the Lord in love. So so Brahma is saying that the happiness the Lord feels in his body cannot be understood by him. And the Lord, on the other hand, he is trying to understand the happiness his devotee feel within their body. So this is the amazing situation, that Krishna is so kind, he loves his devotees so much more, that the way he has arranged this existence, this creation, that he has awarded more happiness to his devotees than to himself. Here Brahmaji is trying to understand how much happiness Krishna might be feeling in his wonderful childhood pastimes. And Krishna, on the other hand, is wondering, oh, how much happiness my devotees feel. And then he comes as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to experience that happiness. He is wondering that Srimati Radharani what is the happiness she is feeling when she is serving me, when she is seeing me. So her lotus cannot understand the sweetness of itself. It's a bumblebee who can relish the sweetness, the nectar of lotus. So Krishna wants to taste his own nectar by being a devotee. So that's the expression of Krishna's love for his devotees, that he has given them more happiness than himself. So that's our Lord. So yeah. So in the remaining chapter, Brahmaji will go on narrating wonderful prayers. He will submit to the Lord as a servant. He will pray for the Lord, that he wants to be a grass, and then he urges to the Lord that I am a child. I'm a child, please, like a mother does not mind the offenses of her children when they kick him. So please do not mind my offense. So and then conclude at the end that he does not understand about Krishna, that how much wonderful activities he does, and he does not understand how much happiness Krishna shares with his devotees, Vrishnis. So that's the same theme he connects back, that with the theme with which he's starting, that I do not understand Krishna, and I do not understand happiness you feel. And at the end also he says, I do not understand how much happiness you have given to your devotees, Vrishnis. And so comes back to the same. So I was reading CC a couple of weeks ago, and I could see one more connection between these prayers of Lord Brahma and what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking with Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami in one of the episodes in the Antilila, when Sanatana Goswami came to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By Krishna's arrangement, his body developed a lot of this impurities, or this pus was coming out from his body, and then he was feeling very uncomfortable coming for darshan of the Lord, or even he was not taking the shortcut path, because the servants of Lord Jagannath would go through that, and he didn't want to contaminate them by mistakenly getting touched by them. So he would take a long path from the seashore, and the sand was so hot, and his feet will burn. So he would do all that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would notice that and say, why you are walking from that path? Why not coming from shortcut? Then he understood that his heart, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, then he glorified him, and then Sanatana Goswami said he wanted to go back. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped him, don't go. He even wanted to commit suicide, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not letting him go, and he is committing all this seemingly offenses. He wanted to commit suicide. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and then out of nowhere he started chastising him that this body is not yours. This is my body. I have planned to conduct so many missions through your body. So how can you think of committing suicide and harm this body? And then he goes on to say that you both, Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami, are like my children. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would hug him, and then all this pus will touch Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body, and Sanatana Goswami would feel very bad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu admitted that you are like my children, even though he is much younger in age to both of them. But the mood he has, that they are submitting to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's admitting that you are like my children. When the mother cleans the baby urine and stool, mother does not feel disgusted. There is no disgust in the mind of mother. So your body is transcendental. Your body is very very lovable to me. So like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu claimed, and it's the same mood that Haridas Thakur is none other than Lord Brahma. So Haridas Thakur is praying in the previous this pastime that I am like your child, like please don't take my offense. And in this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that yes, you are like my children, and I don't mind this pus coming from your body and touching me, because you are very dear to me. So that was very nice connection I was relishing the other day. So today is also appearance day of Sripad Ramanujacharya, I believe, right? I should have prepared some more pastimes about him. But one thing I can remember that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken two principles from each of the four prominent Vaishnava schools, and from Ramanujacharya, from the school of Sri Sampradaya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken these principles of unalloyed devotion free from karma and jnana, which is in line with the next verse that Brahmaji will speak, that we should give up all the speculations and all the karma and jnana, and we should pursue the pure bhakti. So that is perfectly aligned with the mood of Srimad Ramanujacharya also, and that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took from Ramanujacharya. And also the second principle he took from Sri Sampradaya is the principle of serving the devotees, the Vaishnava Seva. Chadiya Vaishnava, what is that? Nistar Paiche Keva, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva. That without serving Vaishnavas, there is no possible to achieve perfection. So these are the two prominent principles that we get from Sri Sampradaya as taught by Ramanujacharya. So very grateful for this wonderful Acharya. After Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya was the first Vaishnava Acharya who defended the Advaita philosophy. He gave the Vishishta Advaita. So when the Shankaracharya misspoke on the understanding of Vedanta, he gave the false understanding, Mayavad understanding. The Ramanujacharya corrected it and opposed vehemently. And he gave so many different principles that were very hard at the time for the Mayavadis to defeat. So he gave very, very strong oppositions to the Mayavad philosophy. So very grateful to Ramanujacharya. And then after Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya and other Vaishnava Acharya came and they took this fight forward to the next level. But very grateful to Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya is the one who made the bhakti mainstream. Before Ramanujacharya, bhakti was something that is accessible only to the Brahmanas, to the higher caste, those who could enter temple. Only they could do the bhakti. But Ramanujacharya brought the bhakti in the streets and made it accessible to everybody. He is one of the first revolutionary Acharya that we have. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he belongs to Brahma Madhva, he came in the lineage, but in a way, he is the one who reconciles all the four Vaishnava schools, and he created this wonderful Vaishnava lineage from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu onward, Gaudiya Parampara. These are a few thoughts I wanted to share today. Please correct me or share your realizations.
Hi Krishna Prabhu, thank you for a nice class. I had a couple questions. The first one is just, I was noting that here to describe Krishna, Brahma said you have gunja berry earrings. And we know gunja berries are those white and red berries. And then we also know that Krishna is described with shark-shaped earrings. So is the shark-shaped one when he is in the Vishnu avatar, or it is in Krishna form that he wears shark-shaped, right?
I will just speculate that when he is in Vrindavan, he is not having all this, jewelry. He is just living in nature and having all these natural decorations. When he become king in Dwarka, maybe then those decorations will come into picture. Right? This is how I am guessing. So please, any other learned devotees, please correct it. If you think other.
Oh, Damodar is Lasat is shark-shaped, right?
So did he have those earrings in the Vrindavan also when he was child, or
yeah, because he's saying Damodar is Lasat Kundal.
Oh yeah, so Damodar has that. Okay. So yeah, this is interesting. Yes.
Okay.
So we don't have details.
So he has both.
Yeah. But maybe he is focusing on glorifying this jewelry more. Yes.
And then just you covered the point that when these pastimes happen, it is because Krishna is using Brahma, his near and dear ones, to give us this example. I mean, for us too, it can be so confusing. But luckily, because we are protected by Guru Sadhu Shastra, we know, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. And we get, and so through the eyes of Guru Sadhu Shastra, we know how to understand. And we also know for the demigods, Brihaspati is their guru.
Mhm.
So I was just wondering, for Brahma, or is it like he was just from the heart? Does he have a guru?
So for him, Lord Vishnu is directly the Guru, and then whenever he is not able to understand something, he prays to Lord. Like when Kumaras approached him for some question answers, he was not able to answer them. Some deep questions they asked, and then he prayed to Lord, and Lord came as Hamsa Avatar. So he has direct access to Lord. In the matter of some difficulty, Lord comes and helps him. Yeah. And I would say that Lord Shiva also acts as Guru for the whole universe at times, right? So when they approach him also. But in general, Brahma and Shiva are the highest personality, and they both consult Lord Vishnu. Yeah. Anybody else know about anybody else as being formal Guru?
Yeah, it is explained anytime there is any crisis, all the demigods they rush to Lord Brahma, and if Lord Brahma also doesn't have any solution, they all go to the shore of the ocean
Yeah.
of milk,
Yeah.
and then Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavi. So Lord doesn't speak; it is revealed in the heart of Lord Brahma.
Yeah. Thank you for nice questions.
I wanted to. It was a wonderful class, absolutely fantastic. I just remembered. I don't remember who narrated this, but I don't know what is the reference. But it is said Krishna, who is like a god at home, and Vishnu is like in the office. So the whole structure of this universe is like the organization, and there is all reverence. That is the key fundamental principle right here, which is understood by most of the demigods. So Krishna comes here to teach. This is my private life. Lord Chaitanya also revealed that, right? So in this particular pastime, Brahma Vimohan Lila, everybody, all of his coward friends, they brought some tiffin, nice tiffin, and there were wonderful items, except for Madhumangal. Madhumangal happened to bring some buttermilk, and he wanted to hide. So he goes in a corner somewhere, and because he was feeling a little embarrassed that, look at all other friends of mine, their mothers, they made such wonderful, preparations. But my mother gave me just buttermilk, and everybody's going to laugh at me. So he's trying to gulp it, but then Krishna sees, and before even he gulps it, he has that mouthful buttermilk, and his cheeks are swollen. And then Krishna sees, and he asks, "What is it?" And he said, he's neither able to swallow it and nor able to, talk and reveal to Krishna that he doesn't want to. Then Krishna pops, he just taps on his cheeks from either side, and then it just pops out the buttermilk, and that's what he drinks. So Krishna is trying to establish that Krishna enjoys the topmost rasa of not being God. He wants to enjoy the rasa where everybody forgets his position as God.
Someone said Krishna is a cowherd boy first, and God is a second role he has to play. So he's just happy playing the cowherd boy role. So it is said that in that pastime that when this boy has decided where to sit, Krishna said, "Let's sit here." So they took all the stones, all the wood, all the leaves, and put their food on that, and that's where they were eating. They didn't even have the proper the tiffins in which to eat. So that's a Vrindavan. So they were eating just naturally. That's such a nice picnic. Anyways, thank you. Any other comments, please? Share. Mataji, you want to say something? Narari Prabhu? Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Kantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki.